It's finally time to change this old car seat into a proper flight seat. I've been using my old Volvo seat for a couple of years in my setup and it has been nice, but it has its issues. So when the people at Next Level Racing sent me an email and asked if I would like to try out their new Flight Seat Pro, I said absolutely yes. Disclaimer, this setup has been provided by Next Level Racing for me at no cost. Also, if you actually want to win your own setup, they have a giveaway ongoing. Just follow the link at the description, and if you're using my creator code, which is also at the description, you can get 50 extra votes for the giveaway. Also, I have an affiliate link to the US store, so if you're from USA or considering getting one of these setups and want to help the channel a bit, you can use that link. So today I'm going to unbox this setup, assemble it, give you my first impressions, then I'm actually going to make it part of my own setup, try it out and give you my more thorough experiences after that. So without further ado, let's get started. The first is the seat part, some cushion. This is not light package, so it would seem it's quite sturdy. Then we have some more packaging. All the nuts and bolts. Assembly manual. And rest of the stuff. Well, that made a big pile of plastic, but at least everything seems to be scratch free, but I do see a trip to the recycling center in my near future. But in any case, the chair is now laid out here and I'm going to start assembling it. And it seems to come with all the tools necessary for the assembly, but naturally, whenever possible, I'm going to use my power tools. Okay, the first thing in the assembly manual are the mounting points for different things, and based on a quick look, this basically covers everything, all the controllers that I know. You have your basic Logitech, Turtle Beach, Claudia VKB, Whirlpool and WinWing stuff, for example, here. But also, when starting to assemble, I think I need to be careful when opening the container that has all the nuts and bolts, because I guess this is what down-to-earth astronomy learned the hard way, that it's easy to get them mixed. And on few occasions, no power tools. And time for the seat. Now the seat is ready and I'll get to it in a second. It's also the time for the second part, so let's start assembling this one. Okay, the first part was the Flight Seat Pro, and this part will be the Flight Stand Pro, and when I have this assembled, I'm going to show you how this whole thing works. Okay, after a couple of sweaty hours, mostly because it's humid and hot outside, I have everything assembled here. I would say the assembly took something like 3 hours for me, but that's mostly because I ended up playing with cameras and trying to make the video while I was at it. So there's nothing that would require two persons. I was able to assemble everything alone, and mostly the instructions were at least clear enough for me. I didn't have major issues. Only one place I had some issues was the seat, connecting seats into the rest of the frame. There was some kind of the instructions were not that clear that which holes I should use, or they seem to have kind of longer base for the chair. So that was kind of only small thing to nitpick that I had with the assembly. Okay, so the basic idea here is that the front part here is the Flight Stand Pro, and this where I'm sitting is the Flight Seat Pro. These both can work as a standalone products. Basically the Flight Stand Pro, it even has a part that you can attach here where you can park your normal chair if you want to use just a kind of normal office chair or gaming chair. And naturally this Flight Seat Pro is basically a seat, and this is something that I'm going to use as a standalone with my setup. Naturally I don't have any space for this one. But besides using these as standalone products, you can actually bolt these two together and use the whole unit as kind of a single flight simulator setup. But this is a really interesting setup here. So one of the first things, it's quite sturdy. A single package, I had two packages, single package weighted almost 50 kilos, so you can really feel sturdy. The casters are lockable, and it's made of kind of heavy metal, just no kind of bad wiggle or anything even outside here. One other important thing is modularity here. Clearly there's stuff like, I actually installed a lot of more stuff than I'm going to need myself. So for example, if you take the stand here, you have space for whatever you want to have. For example, joystick or mouse. You can have your keyboard here. You can have your throttle on the left side. And there's also space for a center mount stick for both kind of a regular joystick, and both of these have a possibility for installing kind of this extended joystick. So there's space button for that one too. Besides the kind of modularity, you can play and mix with the stuff. Everything also is adjustable, so just loosen few screws or take a bolt off and you can move everything back and forth. As you can see, I have my windwing hoses here. So this is actually something I picked up a while ago, secondhand here in Finland. I managed to find it, and this also solves me a few problems because I haven't yet been able to set this up into my setup. The throttle would be quite simple because I can just make a kind of switchable thing on the left side, switchable module, but the joystick, so how could I make a kind of easily interchangeable joystick? And this basically solves the issue because I can have this extended version here that's bolted to the bottom, but also if I want to have, I can actually use the kind of mounting for normal joystick, not non-extended joystick that would be connected to the chair. Other than that, the seat also has a lot of stuff like place for the throttle, something I could actually configure this easily into a hoses setup on basically the joysticks on the left and right side. I could have my mouse here. I could have, for example, if I would want to get another one of these sort of plates, I could have it on the left side and have something like the razor tethers for controlling your movement on foot if I would like to have. The seat itself feels comfortable. It has this center indent for the center mounted joystick that's naturally missing for normal car chair that I used. Other than that, I'm actually going to pass the final verdict on the comfortability after I have a couple of hours of gaming with the setup. It feels nice, soft enough, not too soft. There's a lumbar support here, which is kind of important for our flight simmers, since most of us seem to be at least middle-aged men. We really need to take care of our backs, and kind of all in all, I would say nice and solid setup. This is something that I would be happy to use if I wouldn't have this complete setup. But since I have the complete setup, I'm just going to take the parts out of this that I need and continue with that. After assembly and my quick first impressions, it's time to add the seat to my setup. And this is actually where I run into some issues, because it would be nice to just add this in place. It has casters, everything. But the issue is that my setup, the space available is 65 centimeters, and the white part here is 75. So there's no way I could add this as is. But I actually have this here. I really want to use it with my setup. So there's only one thing I can do. Really feels bad, it's not the intended use, but other than that I don't know what else I can do. It's just I need to make it narrower by using an angle grinder and taking a part of this off. And after processing the chair, I needed to make some sort of frame below it. I just had some 150mm white wood available, and I decided to use half-lap joints because it will be sturdy. I'll have to say I'm not that proud of this creation. This is not the best woodwork I have done. It would be much easier with proper dado plates if we would have those available here. But it will get its job done, and in the end it's actually most of the time completely invisible, so it doesn't bother that much. So after painting, just adding a couple of casters underneath. As they say, being a good woodworker is not about not making mistakes, it's about fixing those mistakes you make. And I just had this stuff lying around. And then attaching the chair into the plate. So this wasn't as simple project as I initially hoped it would be, but everything is finally ready, and I also had a chance to try this out playing a bit of Star Citizen. So I would say it's a solid setup, and the strengths are especially if you're using everything together, so you have a setup with modularity where you can just mix and match everything you basically need. And I would say that if I wouldn't have my own setup that I built myself, it's something that I could see myself absolutely using. But in my case, I still decided to go with this even though I had to make some modifications, and there are a few reasons. First of all, I just simply like this look of it. It's sleeker, fits my setup a bit better. Also, the frame is great. I still have lots of kind of possible extension points where I can install stuff here if I want to do something like that. And naturally the joystick, I can have the verbal joystick for space simulators, and then I can have the Wing extended version for DCS when I'm playing with Hornet. When it comes to how comfortable it is, well, my previous seat was from a basically premium car maker, so I would say it might have been a bit more comfortable, a bit better adjustments, but after playing with this for a while, I simply hadn't any issues, at least myself. So it's a good and solid seat for my setup, and I'm planning to keep using it in the future too. So that was quite an interesting project, a bit different than I was expecting. I hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget the giveaway, don't forget the affiliate link, check the description for them. And if you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe. And in any case, thanks for watching and see you later.